Hello my lovelies, it's day 2 at D&AD and I'm waiting for the poke bowl to open up so I can have one of those little bowl of Hawaiian goodness. But before I dive into that, I wanted to address the idea that AI can write creative. I mean, this is an idea that's been floating around the industry for a while now, and I've got to be honest with you, I've completely dismissed it. Obviously I've got a very powerful cognitive bias, which is to say, bollocks, don't be so fucking stupid. Of course, an artificially aware system can't, well, it can generate ideas. I mean, there's no doubt it can generate ideas. The question is, will the ideas be any good? But really and truly, that's just based on my arrogance, my lack of knowledge, lack of humility, and, you know, a sense of how I'd like the world to be, which is confirming to my worldview. So I decided to abandon this stance of contempt prior to investigation, and I went into a keynote yesterday which was given by a couple of those strategic planner and data analyst who put together the ad for Lexus. I'm going to put a link in the show notes. Lexus recently ran an ad which had been developed by artificial intelligence, and they did which, now as soon as I thought that, I go, well, you know what, that's a nice gimmick. And slide 3 in their presentation was, "This is not a gimmick." Now, when someone in advertising tells you something's not a gimmick, when they actually make a point of doing it, trust me, it's a gimmick. But anyway, they went into details as to strategically. There's a good reason why Lexus would run an ad developed by artificial intelligence, which is because artificial intelligence on a Lexus is very, very powerful. A lot of the safety sensors work on that, use that technology, and it's able to develop systems that'll keep you safe, that'll keep the climate to an optimum temperature, to keep your comfort to exactly how you want it, all those good things. But they went into the process of how initially they created an AI system to write a car ad, and it was, to say it was arduous was like an understatement. I mean, they had to sort of like load in first of all they had to load in car commercials, and then they had to load in their ideas or the metrics as to what made a decent car commercial. So they put in Cannes Lions Award winners. They put in everything in the kitchen sink, and they were going through it, and my attention was wavering, so I was like, you know what, let's just cut to the quick and let's have a look at the ad. So I googled the ad, and it's a beautiful ad. The thing is, it's a great looking ad, but the idea is weak. The idea is just not particularly strong, and it was, you know, what's beautiful about it is the editing, is the color grade, is the photography, is basically the level of the craftsmanship, and the craftsmanship is all human. You know, the idea came from AI, and the idea is it's a sort of ho-hum idea. It's the kind of idea that sort of like, you know, any decent creative could have come up with in half an hour. And you know, if you want an award-winning idea, give it to a good team and give them a couple of weeks. The issue is never, you know, one of the fallacies about the advertising industries is that creative people are useless at coming up. Creative people are great at coming up with ideas. Creative people can always come up with really great ideas. The difficulty comes in selling them to the client. That's really it's how it gets through the approval process. That's where the real magic takes place. That's where the struggle is. That's where the battle is, and it's just underwhelming. That's all I can say. So if you're a copywriter, if you're an art director, I think your job's safe for certainly the next 20 years, because listen, here's the other thing. AI cannot tell a dog from a cat, right? Because they both got 2 ears, they both got 2 eyes, they both got 4 legs, they both have whiskers. We know, a child would know the difference between a dog and a cat, because there are some things that are inherently doggy and there are some things that are inherently catty. But AI can't figure that out, and if it can't figure out the difference between a dog and a cat, how the fuck is it going to write an ad? So that's my thought. Have a look at the Lexus ad. You may have a different opinion. I thought it was pretty crap. It was kind of like, You could train a monkey to make you a cup of tea. You could. It would take you a terribly long time, and the monkey would have to make lots and lots of cups of tea before you got a decent one. But the question is, why would you bother? And that's how I feel about AI and ads. Anyway, leave me a message, or leave me a comment in the notes, or leave me a message on what you'd like me to cover next time, and I'll see you before too long.